It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and it's time to open door number 21. I've had a good look at this. Yeah, number door 20 is open, so we've got 21 to open. But interestingly, some of you might know that I've talked about it a lot in my live streams of Stone Crow Virtual Pub, that where we live right now, or where we live in this house, it's kind of like in the winter, it's underground. There's no like sun at all. Except today, because the sun is going over the house from that direction, hitting a window over there, and the window is reflecting sunshine on my beer advent calendar. How amazing is that? It's nice to have some sunshine in my conservatory, even if it's rebounding off someone's window. So, door number 21, look, we got sunshine. Door number 21 of the beer advent calendar, and this is St Ives Pilsner, Porth Pilsner, 4.4% ABV, 330 milliliter can. Do I have a Pilsner glass? I suppose I do. I've been using this Wensleydale Brewery glass for, well, I've just been bringing it out for reasons like this, where you don't know what's coming out your beer advent calendar. It could be a stout, it could be an IPA, it could be a lager. St Ives Brewery, so 330 milliliter can. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I do like the fact that we're having beers from breweries that I don't really try much. I think I've had a beer from St Ives Brewery many years ago, but in terms of like drinking it all of the time, there's just so many breweries out there these days to try different beers from different breweries all of the time. But what I'm trying to get at here, it's taking me a long time, but what I'm trying to get at is I like the fact that there's so many different breweries that we've had from this box set, which I haven't drank their beers for many years, including St Ives. It's been a long time since I've had a St Ives beer, so it's nice. It's a really nice thing. We'll touch on that more later on. But we got a one finger white head, good levels of slow moving carbonation. It's a clear, dark coloured lager. It's almost looking like a Vienna lager. If you asked me to choose a style of lager, I would say Vienna lager. Good levels of carbonation then. Let's get the aroma on this one. Quite estery and fruity. Combination of hops and the yeast giving off these aromas then. If I'm honest, the aroma is more like an ale. It's more like an ale than a Pilsner. We'll talk about that in a moment too. But it looks good, it smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Oh, it's freezing cold. It's the coldest morning yet out there. -4. -4 out there this morning. It's absolutely bone cold. And this beer advent calendar. Oh, the sun's gone though. Oh, what a shame. The sun's not reflecting off that window over there anymore. It's gone for the whole of the winter. Yeah, it's this advent calendar's been sitting here all night, so it is cold beer. I suppose you want to drink your Pilsner at this temperature, don't you? It's clean, it's refreshing, it's drinkable. It's a little estery from the yeast, as I mentioned earlier. You got a little bit of sweet malt coming through, and a fruitiness from the hops. It's like a berry fruit flavour. but it's tasting more like an ale. Much more like an ale than a Pilsner. And I want to talk about that because breweries, now everyone is kind of getting on board with the fact that lager, Pilsners, Helles lagers, they're very popular at the moment. They are very popular. And there's a lot of breweries out there who are trying to use their usual beer kit, their ale making kit, to produce lagers. Now that's okay for the beginning of their lager journey. But if these breweries want to take themselves seriously in terms of lager production, I'm sure they take themselves seriously, but if they want to produce a serious lager that people are going to really love, going to be crispy and lovely, then my blade beer with my my lager in there is making a noise. If they want to be taken seriously in lager production, in producing a good lager, then what they need to do is invest in the horizontal fermenters. They need the horizontal fermenters. They need to leave it ferment for a few months and then they'll have a proper lager. I've seen it at More Beer Company. They've invested in these horizontal lagering tanks, and my goodness me, their lagers are fantastic. They really are fantastic. I totally understand, not all breweries can afford that luxury. Not all breweries can afford to go down that road. But if you want to be considered a top lager brewery, then I think if there's a feasible way of you doing it, then try and get a couple of these horizontal fermenters in, because it makes such a difference. I can tell just by drinking this that it's, what do they call it? A shoe-in, is it? Not a shoe-in, but what's the old saying? Not a shoe-in, but try to force fit something. I totally understand, like I just said, that the Pilsners, Helles lagers are very popular, and these ale brewers are brewing lagers on their ale kits because lager's popular at the moment. I totally understand that. But it can't work for the long term. If these guys at Ives Brewery are really serious about producing Pilsners and lagers going forward, then they need to invest in the right equipment. They really do. I know we're in difficult times. I really understand that. But if they want to be taken seriously as a big quality lager brewery, we don't want to say that, do we? But as a really good lager brewery going forward, then they need the right kit. They need the right kit. It's okay, but if this is more like an ale, this is definitely more like an ale. So I just want to touch then on this beer advent calendar. Wonderful bit of kit, this one. We've just opened 21. We've got 22 to do. And then a couple more beers after that, then we're done. But it's been a really exciting journey, this beer advent calendar, because as I've said, I don't know what glassware to have out. I don't know what beers are going to come out the door. It's a bit like, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to do. So my rating for St Ives Porth Pilsner, a Pilsner lager brewed on the wild Cornish coast, clean, crisp and cold matured for enjoyment by the water's edge. So they've cold matured it. But what I would like to know, in what tanks have you cold matured it? You never know. They might have invested in horizontal tanks and they're just getting used to, they're just tweaking their kit, they're just adjusting their kit. But it's tasting too much of an ale to say that they're using horizontal fermenters. It's like more like an ale than a Pilsner, so I'm going to say 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!